Okay. Let's see here. What's going on, beautiful peeps? Gonna make some adjustments here. Okay. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up, my beautiful people? We are gathered here today to talk about the weekly energies going on. What's up, Jessica? Thank all you guys for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe if this information what's up, Lauren? If this information resonates with you, I appreciate you guys very much. So let's jump into these energies, because these energies are massive. What's up, Antonio? Thank you, man. You keep up the good work too, my friend. Doing great. I love you. I love all you guys for jumping in on here and for you know, liking my content, you know, working it one day at a time. And with these energies going on right now, man, they are intense, and we are heading into July with a bang, because on July 1st, we have we have Saturn heading back into Capricorn. So think back to earlier this year, about December, January, February-ish time frame, when you know, Saturn was still in Capricorn, and we were, you know, all this change was just starting to happen, right? All this crazy stuff in the world was going on, and with that stuff going on, there was a lot of control dynamics. There was a lot of mechanisms that were, you know, trying to be implemented and put into place. A lot of, you know, stuff from the left, from the right, from up, down, multidimensionally, all this weird stuff happening. Like, what the hell's going on? Okay. Then Saturn moved into Aquarius and showed us, you know, like Aquarius is all about expansion. It's all about humanity. It's all about, you know, new technologies. And we saw the resistance, like the censorship, like the things shutting down, long distance travel, things like that. And now, you know, we have, hey, what's up, Robin? Now we have Saturn heading back into Capricorn after we got a little taste of all this crazy shit going on in the world. Okay. What's up, Leslie? And with all this crazy stuff going on in the world now we're heading back, and we're going to be looking at, okay, like how are we going to refine? How are we going to, you know, make these changes? They're not going to lock us down again, I don't think, because clearly that was just, you know, creating more problems. But we went through a beta test, right, for a couple months going into Aquarius. Now that beta test is done, and they've been doing their stuff to, you know, their algorithms and testing how humanity is responding to everything going on. So now they're going to implement something new that's going to be more insidious, however, more in our face, right? It's going to be so obvious that people are just going to be like, you know, oh, okay, well, people that are not really awake per se. The agenda is getting very clear. It's getting very in our face, almost like, because it's creating this like acceptance amongst people that are conformists. Now it is up to us to be able to still stand in our power and do what we can to continue to awaken the population and to stand in our authentic truth, and keep taking this forward in our own lives. Because really, the way that we bring this forward is using that Saturn energy to our advantage and strengthening and fortifying the foundation of our consciousness. Now, at the same time that strengthening and fortifying is going on, we are also changing and evolving. So it's sort of a paradox, right? There's two different directions going on at the same time. It's like it's expanding and changing simultaneously. So this is where we have to let go of attachments. This is where we have to learn to surrender and allow it to bring us through this very difficult energy. Okay, because it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird because it's going to be unknown. All right, and this as we go through this week, we're going to be coming up to a lunar eclipse in Capricorn. Now, this is the third eclipse of a 3 eclipse cycle that is going to be ending and finishing up, or capping off this this Capricorn Cancer dynamic. And Capricorn and Cancer together, they're cardinal energies, right? So cardinal energy is going to be feeling this the most. Cardinal being Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, right? Cardinal is about starting something new. It's about making it happen. It's about going after it, okay? And especially with Mars now in the cardinal sign and the home sign of Aries, you can bet that, Mars is divine masculine, okay? So we're starting off the month now also with Mars in its home sign. It's ready to take charge. Just make it, it's ready to go forward. It's ready to make things happen. And we want to be able to feed the positivity of this energy and, learn how to navigate or mitigate, I should say, this more, the more difficult aspect or, kind of productive aspect of Mars, which is frustration, irritability, like anger, just like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to freak out and, emotionally responding to the world. Okay. There's a lot of that happening, and we have to make sure that we're keeping our triggers in check, because this is going to bring triggers to a whole new level. You thought it's crazy now, it's going to keep going, because soon, the people that this whole thing in the world is not affecting, soon it's going to start to affect them. And that's when a lot of people are going to start to stand up and make some noise. And when that happens, that's going to really start to change things in a big way. Okay. Because things just, everything's about to pop, right? We cannot allow things to keep going the way they are. And we all have belief systems, and these belief systems, as you can see, it's futile to try to argue with someone that has a different belief system with you right now. That was the separation that's been happening for the past few years, right? And now it's solidified. So instead of arguing with people about what you believe is true or not, like it's impossible to know the energies or the information that's coming from these sources. Everything is suspicious. Everything is suspect, right? We don't know the truth. Other than our heart. It is the people that are not in touch with their hearts that are having the most difficult time with this. Okay, because when you're not in touch with your heart, when you're counting on external circumstances to tell you the truth, you're basically allowing your environment to control you. That's what that's all about. So we really have to dig deep through those fears and through that discomfort, and just stand in that. Okay, people are going to talk shit. People are going to hate. People are going to disagree with you. Okay, stand in your truth the best that you can, and if you're dealing with drama or bullshit, just back off. There's no point in playing that game, because it's just going to suck you into that lower vibration, right? It's like all these people are just going to suck you down and hold you back from your greatest, for your greatest potential of your highest vibrational good. So here we also on July 1st we have the sun that just crossed over Mercury in retrograde. Okay, so when sun is kazini Mercury, especially in retrograde, this really makes these vulnerable emotions really clear, or really in your face. Maybe things you don't want to know, you don't want to see, you don't want to feel. It's going to be what it is. Okay, now on July 1st as well, we also have a yod. So we're coming into this month with a bang, not only because Saturn is coming into its home sign again, a Capricorn at 29 degrees, which is 10 times stronger than the other degrees, because it is a master number. It's like the potency of Capricorn all together. It's like all the lessons that we learned through all the degrees combined, right? But we have a yod here that is Saturn that's quincunx over to the North Node at 29 degrees, which is also a master number. And then the North Node is quincunx over to the Moon, which is going to be, the Moon travels quickly. So it's going to hit 29, 28, 27, all those degrees. All right. But in Scorpio. So this is Scorpio rules the 8th house, right? This is, I just said July. So this is where, emotionally, we're looking deep into those, like our energetic, like intuitive empath nature is going to get stronger. It's going to get more prevalent. And this is sextile to Saturn. So this is seeing the things that the structures in our consciousness or the structures in our life that we have to change, that we believe. We just have to listen to it and believe in ourselves and know that, it's going to be, shit's going to get real. Okay. And this is looking at our destiny, and the angles that are pointing to the destiny are difficult angles. It's like, it's sort of like you have this big ass mountain to climb, but you don't have the right gear and you don't really know how to get up the mountain. So you're going to have to get creative, right? But what you don't realize is that you actually have the tools. It's sort of like, you know, you're learning to mountain climb and you can get all this gear that you want, but really in actuality, you can do it on your own without the gear. You just have to be, you know, confident in yourself. You have to like be in good physical shape. You know, you have to understand your body and like the dynamics of how everything works, and just face your fears and do it anyways. You got to go into it. Okay. And this is your destiny calling. This is about, you know, communicating with people about how you feel, learning how to face these triggers in a mature way. All right. And we're all being tested with these triggers at every level. You know, you read into some of this shit, especially like on Facebook. Facebook is just terrible. It's so negative. It's just nasty fucking energy. And so we really need to take a step back from this nasty energy and just preserve our, you know, our soul essence and the basic foundation of that energy. Because, you know, when we feed into that stuff, it just creates more problems, really. But as we come into this Independence Day, right? We you know, so we have Pluto that's, you know, 24 degrees right now, but it's only 3 degrees away from where it was the Independence Day that we signed the Declaration of Independence. All right, so we're feeling this. It's gonna be exact in about a year and a half. Okay, but this is sort of like a prequel of what's going on. It's no coincidence that we're ending the Capricorn Cancer cycle right now. Okay, with this lunar eclipse, ending a phase of our understanding of our country. We're coming into a very revolutionary time. And with that, there's going to be a lot more shit being dug up. This next 6 months is going to get intense, guys. Like, we're going to be having Mars squaring Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. It's going to go over it 3 times. Okay, like that's how it works. So when there's a square, it's like there's arguments, there's, you know, it's difficult, there's going to be disagreements. And this is about our inner, like at the same time this is going on, it's if we think of our physical bodies as very complex filtration systems, right? We are filtering out all the toxic aspects now in the second half of our divine masculinity. First half was filtering out the toxic aspects of our divine femininity. Now it's going to be the divine masculine. So narcissism, the whole patriarchal, like power, greed, money, and there's a lot of that in this country and in people. So as we filter through this, it's going to be hitting that energy in Capricorn, saying, you know, like, well, if you're not in integrity with your soul purpose, with your true self, this is going to fall away. This is going to fall away. Like, karma is going to start hitting people like a motherfucker, man. It's going to start hitting real hard. And, you know, to humble this divine masculine that is, you know, not acting in accordance to the way, you know, that it could be in its highest vibrational good. And so be aware, be advised, you know, as, you know, with the very first day of July coming in with a bang like this, then coming into 4 days later into the lunar eclipse, which is going to be the last eclipse going on here in the Capricorn Cancer axis. And of course, these energies last for about 6 months, right? So these energies are going to be lasting for about 6 months, closing out this very intense chapter. So think back to like 2017, right? We had those major eclipses back in 2017 where it completely blotted out the sun over America. Okay, this is closing out that energetic cycle of massive growth. I know for me, for the last 2 years, I've been going through a massive amount of growth. And, you know, we have to keep doing the work within. We have to allow it to, you know, to teach us whatever it wants us to know. So the 4th is going to be a fairly intense day, a weekend. Okay. We're going to be experiencing some identity crises, or, you know, ego deaths. We could see, you know, long distance travel, or I should say international travel being, you know, like completely shut down for a while. Who knows? They may even try to lock down things for the 4th of July weekend. All right. There's, I mean, I personally don't agree with all this stuff going on, but that's just me. And, you know, we have the good thing though right now is that we have Venus that's going to be sextile over to Mars and Chiron. All right. And with that, when Mars and Venus are sextile, you know, they were square for a while. All right. So they weren't getting along. They're like, I want this. No, I want that. No, this, no, this, no, that, no, this. So we were sort of at war with ourselves with our, you know, yin and yang energy. Now that Mars is in Aries, in its home sign, and Venus is direct. Okay, we've gone through all the learned lessons, and now it's becoming very clear and apparent. And speaking to our divine masculine, saying, "Hey, if we want to be happy, we got to receive this. If we want to be happy, we got to learn to do this. We need to communicate better this way. We need to accept this. We need to, you know, process that." And of course, also with it being sextile to Chiron, saying in order to be able to process and accept and do this, we have to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. And Mars does not like to be vulnerable, guys. Mars likes to go. It likes to make shit happen. It likes to move forward. It likes to, you know, conquer, if you will. It's the warrior. So with that being said, you know, Venus is speaking in harmony. It's sextile, you know, getting together and, you know, sextiling each other. So, and with it being direct, you know, we're bringing up these energies where it's going to bring things into awareness that the last 6 weeks have been confusing, have been like, you know, I don't know what the hell's going on. Why am I going through this? Like, say like you met somebody, you know, during your Venus retrograde, you had a Venus retrograde fling or something, and it didn't work out because usually it doesn't. And now you're like realizing, oh, that's why this happened, or that was a lesson, or that's what it made me see or realize or understand, or, you know, come to fruition with. Okay. And you know, we also have Black Moon Lilith still hanging around Uranus. It's been going back and forth between Uranus and Chiron here for the last 6 months. And this month, it's also gonna conjunct Chiron again with Mars. So that's not gonna be, you know, until the end of next week. But, you know, that is gonna be like super intense, okay? Because with Mars and Black Moon Lilith, that's like, you know, the jaded mistress with, you know, the samurai warrior, you know, sitting on top of each other, right? So it's almost like they're going to be in a kung fu fight, you know, a naked kung fu fight, you know, saying, you know, fuck me like this. No, fuck me like that. No, I want to have it like this. No, you do this. No, you do that. Like both trying to be dominant, right? So, you know, we're going to have to, you know, be able to allow things to just, you know, be okay. Like, this is where not sacrifice, but, you know, being okay, allowing the other part of you to be in charge when normally you, like, that one part of you wants to be in charge. Okay. Like, consideration of other things, people, places, experiences. Like, pick your battles. Okay. That's what I meant. Pick your battles wisely. Because if you're not picking your battles, then they're going to be picked for you. And then you might get into some shit that you don't want to get into, or you might say like you hook up with somebody, right? And and it's amazing, but then they turn out to be a fucking psycho, and then they scratch up your brand new car that you just bought, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Okay, that's what you got to be careful about. Okay, watch the impulses. Watch the impulses. Yeah. And then of course that's just gonna fucking break your heart. You bought this brand new beautiful car you're so proud of, and now you have like eat a dick scratched on the side. You're like, what the fuck? It's like a $5,000 paint job. No. Okay, so we don't want that. All right, we don't want none of that. Okay, and all of this is going on while we are in Cancer season. So emotionally speaking, you know, we're all feeling emotional, feeling vulnerable. All right. So July 4th to 5th, going to be a big day, of course. And then the next day, of course, after that is exact, okay, it's going to go over Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. So this eclipse, I would say, is almost, it's going to stay like hanging around for like 2 days, okay? Because of those planets, and especially that we just went through the Pluto-Jupiter conjunction, which they're still pretty much conjunct. Now they're both at 23 degrees. They're only a few minutes apart. So that is, and you know, with the lunar eclipse being at 13, it's like 14 degrees. It's like in the end of the 13s. So being 14 degrees, it's only 9 degrees away from Jupiter and Pluto. For the moon, I would consider that an orb that is close enough to feel it. So essentially, it's conjunct to Jupiter, Pluto, which is just going to magnify and amplify this energy that we just hit yesterday, which is that exact conjunction. So on the other side of this conjunction, right, with now Jupiter beyond Pluto going backwards or internally, this is excavating this new part. Thank you. This is excavating a deeper aspect of our consciousness, which is going to bring up deeper levels of energetic sensitivities. It's going to bring up, new levels of awarenesses or understandings of what we want, of who we are. Okay. Literally a new part of us is being born right now. So this is like a birthing process, but this type of birthing process, we're going in energetically for the next few months until November. Okay. Then when we come back, we're coming back out, and now we're implementing and embodying all these new energies and all these new things. So really, it's almost like this entire year has been a birthing process of shedding old skins, of clearing out old energies, of discovering new parts of ourselves, of being incredibly heightenedly sensitized to energies, because this heightened sensitivity is where our extrasensory gifts come from. All right. So with these extrasensory gifts comes responsibilities, because if you're one of those like yes people, which is, just saying yes to everybody to people pleasers are going to have a real hard time with this right now, because that energy is going to get stronger and stronger. What's going to happen is that you're going to say yes, and more people are going to be asking you for shit. And as more people are asking you for shit, then it's going to come out like you're just going to be exhausted. You're not going to be able to handle it all. Okay. So you have to, if your heart is saying no, you got to honor that. You got to honor yourself first before anything. Okay. And saying no to others to say yes to yourself is a big part of the learned lesson here. And then as we honor that, the people that aren't really there for you, the people that don't really love you, they're going to leave. They're going to leave your life. And you want them to leave, because those are energetic vampires. People that are feeding off you, and empaths have a really hard time doing that. Okay. So honor yourself, love yourself. And as you do that, you're shedding this darker energy, and you're allowing this new energy to come in and embody you. So while you're going through this process, you may have a bit of a loss of identity, like you're like an ego death. And when this ego death happens, you get confused. You're like, well, who am I? Like, what is my purpose in this world? I don't know where to go. I don't know how to be. And this is going to just teach you to surrender. And sometimes we get to a point where we have no choice but to surrender. It's just we don't know what else to do, right? So we have to step into that surrendering process. And sometimes the universe will take everything away from you, so that the only thing you have is faith. I know that happened to me for quite some time, right? The only thing you have is faith, and you just got to pray. I mean, even if you don't know how to pray, you just please, I will do anything. Like, just let this be okay. Let me figure it out. Let me have clarity. And there are so many outlets and ways nowadays to be able to access, understanding all this stuff of what's going on, especially my opportunity community. I mean, that's what we do. That's what we talk about. That's why we're here, because, I know I've gone through it myself, and it makes it feel really comfortable, and really like, it makes you feel like you're not alone when you're going through these crazy changes in these crazy times, to be able to have people to talk to about this stuff, and to be able to connect with, and to grow and network and learn, and even, figure out, your life passion and your life purpose. Okay. So if you're interested in the opportunity community, go to my website, spiritualbodybuilder.com, and check that out. And let's work on this together, because these energies are going to get much stronger. And you're like, if you're not going through it, or if you're not facing it, then you're going to feel like you're crawling out of your skin. You're going to have a hard time sleeping. You're going to have a hard time, like eating habits are going to become different. Like it's going to really start to affect you in your physical body, because look, this year is the year of transformation. It's the year of creating and gaining that 2020 vision. So, this is our year to transform, to prepare for the rest of our lives, for the next chapter, right? So the real test, the real life does not start until next year, until after December 17th, when the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction happens at 0 degrees of Aquarius. All right, that's when things really start to take off. So as we're transforming, this energy is going to it's going to end the eclipse season. Yay. Okay. And then we're going to have Mercury go direct in the middle of the month. So when that happens, now we're moving fully into this new energy of learning and growing, and of new learned lessons. So So, you know, whatever version of yourself that you thought was here to stay, say goodbye, because you're going to become a new version of yourself. And when you do, through that birthing process, like think about a baby, like the first time they take a breath, they have to cry. They don't know, like in the first time they eat, they have to learn everything all over again. So this is like an energetic birthing process. You have to learn how to work with your own energy in a whole new way. And that can be very frustrating, very confusing, especially when you have no guidance. Okay. So we are all going to be, you know, babies in this new life, in this new energetic body. So with that new energetic body, you need to surround yourself with your soul family so that we can all guide each other going through this process and grow and learn and feel safe and feel like we're actually doing some good in this world. All right. It's all about that North Node Gemini, about coming together and bringing more people together and us helping each other, you know, helping other people. All right. We're here for a purpose, guys. So let's see. So July 6th, we have Mercury is going to be at the second to last degree before it changes, before it turns direct. We have Saturn and Pluto at 23 degrees now. Also, 23 degrees was right where the Capricorn eclipse was back in, I believe, December. Okay, so think back to end of December, beginning of January. All right, whatever you were feeling, experiencing, whatever came through. And right now, Mars is only 3 degrees away from Chiron. So when Mars comes into Chiron, you know, this is Mars, like, this is our divine masculine, you know, really, really vulnerable, really dense, divine masculine energies. And we might be surprised at the stuff that comes up, at the stuff that we feel, at the stuff that we seem to be, you know, guided towards. Okay. And, you know, because Mars is this, I just want to do it. I just want to make it happen. I just want to get it done. Right. And Chiron's going to be going retrograde too here next week. So Chiron's moving very slowly. And whenever a planet is moving slowly or getting ready to go retrograde or direct, that's when the energy is most powerful. So with Mars coming up, Chiron is so powerful. It's looking deep into our ego. It's looking deep into the way that we project ourselves out into the world and saying, okay, is this what you really want the world to see you as? Are you divine masculine? Like, are you a narcissist? Are you manipulating people? Are you trying to hurt people? Or are you trying to get something out of whatever it is that you're doing when you get out there? And, you know, because really when you're out to help people, of course, we all have to, you know, make money and, you know, thrive and, you know, do good things. It's all about the intention behind it. Okay. So with every interaction, if you're like, okay, what is in it for me? What can I get out of it? Well, that's not really truly helping someone. You're like, okay, I'm not going to worry about the money. It's going to come. It's a side effect of what I'm doing. But my main priority is helping you. What can I do to help you? Right. And then, you know, whatever, you know, financial compensation will come. Like that's a big part of the divine masculine energy. It's greed, it's power, it's being like money hungry and like wanting to like have control, right? So we have to let go of that control. And the higher version of that is really like true loving leadership. All right. Wanting to see other people coming out and, you know, like, and helping people develop themselves. Because if you're a true leader and you're developing other leaders and you want other people to surpass you, you know, you're proud of them. You don't have to showcase it. You don't have to like show, hey, this is what I did for them. If they want to do that, cool. But that is just, you love to see people shine, right? And that is like, you know, like it's a lack mentality. And a lot of people have to work through that. I had to work through that myself, right? And I find that the more authentic I am, the more I grow, and the more I just love to help people and keep that vibration going, the bigger and better things happen to me. So you know, it's a constant process, guys. We have to keep ourselves in check, you know, the whole time. Okay. So, you know, this month is going to be a huge transformational month. We thought that June was big and a lot of things did happen in June. Okay. We had a lot of like opening up and new starting energy, but now this is going to be more of like, okay, we've been in this chrysalis here for the last 4 weeks of this eclipse cycle. In the middle, it's like it's like we're the pearl inside of like an oyster, right? But we don't realize that we're that deep into that. Okay. So as we wake up to this realization, we as we wake up to this realization, then we all of a sudden like, fuck, okay, I'm deeper in it than I thought, or I didn't realize that I was doing this. Like now we're getting a really deeper reflection of what's going on. And then we have to work ourselves out of the next level. Okay. It's like one of those Russian dolls that just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. There are many more layers than we really thought there was. Okay. And then, so we're going to come out of this bubble, this pearl, if you will, into like the next layer that we didn't even realize that we were stuck in. And that's when, Mercury goes direct, and that's when we fully come out of that. Now we're in this whole new world, and it's much bigger than we thought. So a lot of really amazing, great, beautiful things can come into our lives if we are taking responsibility. Like we can, lots of money, we can become famous, we can become like really huge influencers with people that, that we love and cherish and care about. So it's about putting all the past in the past. Okay. Whatever things have happened, remember to try to observe the experience from the bigger picture, and that, okay, it happened and it's painful and it was gut wrenching, and my heart was broken, or, this thing was just so excruciating. And I had to experience that to know what it's like, because I'm going to help other people that have gone through that too and help them work through it. And the only way that you can really help them is by empathically connecting energetically. Okay. So we have to feel those feelings. Everybody has had some detrimental things happen in their life. We've all experienced trauma. Fuck, the whole world is experiencing PTSD right now from all this shit going on in the world, right? But if you lived your whole life with PTSD, then this shit is like, oh, I don't know how to navigate it. So now the people that are going through it for the first time, you're like, okay, I know how to help you, right? And because you felt it, because you've grown up feeling that, they're like, oh my God, yes. And when you are able to help other people like that, it's such an amazing feeling. Like that makes you feel alive. That makes you, because really our purpose here is to help others grow and learn through their process. Okay. So we need to grow, we need to learn, we need to process and allow this deep masculine vulnerability to come through. And, for women, it's easier to be, or for the feminine, it's easier to be vulnerable because they're naturally more vulnerable, right? So, it comes through, in a different way. The masculine has been conditioned, especially in this age of Pisces, the masculine has been conditioned to not feel their emotions, to not, to not move through this kind of stuff, to stuff everything down. And because like, in our humanity, in our society, they have purposefully, tried to weaken the strong male, right? The true leader, the alpha male. We see it right now with, all these, things going on in the world. We don't have a whole lot of really true masculine men that are loving. A lot of masculine men are narcissists, or like have, power agendas, or like control issues. So we really need loving masculine men to stand in their power. Like I look at Elliot Hulse, or like, the certified health nut, like these guys they do the work, or even like Joe Rogan, or, the guy that owns On It, Dave Asprey, all these guys, they're willing to go in and do the work and figure themselves out. And through balancing themselves out, they help other people. Right. And we need that. We really need to be able to embrace that divine masculine, and men and women alike all have that divine masculine energy. Some women have stronger masculine energies than some men do, and vice versa. Okay. So this doesn't, and this has no relationship to sexual orientation. Okay. This just has to do with, how you step out into the world, how you take action. Are you passive aggressive? Are you assertive? Do you think that everything is a confrontation? If so, why? Okay. Because things are only a confrontation if you view it, if you perceive it that way. Right. So when you're standing in your truth from a loving place, nothing is confrontational. Everything is creative. Everything is love, and everything is a solid emotional boundary. That's really at the very core. That's what the divine masculine is all about. It's defining and identifying these solid emotional boundaries and sticking to your guns, not saying yes when your body's telling you no, right? Not doing things for other people when you need to do for yourself. Like, making sure that you're taking care of yourself first and foremost, and then, you know, bring it into that, you know, next evolution or next phase of where you know that you want to go. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of comments there in the charts. I mean, in the chats. Real quick, what's the difference between true node to north and south node? So you mean the difference between the true node and the mean node? That's just like a calculation difference. To be honest, I don't really pay attention to that. I just pay attention to the true node. They're usually very slightly different. But there's a couple dozen different types of different types of charts that you can look at. I personally use the tropical equal system, but with all these different charts, the heliocentric, the Placidius, the sidereal, the Vedic, and with all of them, they all come with different rules and different ways of looking at it. You know, my mentor taught me, you know, and I really truly resonate with the tropical equal chart. So that's what I go with. Just like Black Moon Lilith, there's like a true Lilith and a mean Lilith. They're both just different calculations. I think they hit the consciousness a little bit different, but you know, they work for me that way. So thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate you. You know, especially right now, there are a lot of people that are leaving this earth. Their souls are choosing to, you know, go. And, you know, this is that time where we are in a mission. Our spiritual mission and our soul's purpose is coming to light. So when it comes to death, like the whole energy towards death, or the whole understanding of death, that's a part of life, right? But that can be very difficult to comprehend and understand. I remember my first experience with, you know, coming close to death. It rocked my world, right? And that changed my life. And right now, like death, the unknown, all this fear, if you haven't faced your fear before, this shit's coming up for the first time, and it is unnerving. It'll change your life. It is life changing. So this is where you need to communicate with people and connect with people that understand how to navigate these emotional places, because at the very core, it's the same for everyone. But, you know, there are fundamental fears that we all have that certain people in high levels are manipulating the population for. And this is like the strong survive. Okay. This is where we need to face our own fears. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not doing that. A lot of people are projecting, and well, their souls are tired. I wouldn't put it that way. Souls aren't tired. They're needing to evolve. Okay. Souls are not meant to be in this vibration anymore. We've lived out our time in this vibration, and it has expired. So the souls that are tired are the ones that resist change. It's the resistance that's creating the weariness. Okay. That is where surrender is so critically important. When we surrender, when we allow ourselves to change and to grow, then we become revitalized. We become energized. We become almost superhuman. We become empowered. So if you are feeling exhausted or tired, or you're feeling depressed or anxiety, or these really difficult negative emotions, it's because you are resisting. Okay. So that is where the surrender is critical. You have to surrender to the process, and you have to allow these things to teach you, and not hold on to your belief systems, to the way things are, to the feelings. It's these attachments to these feelings that we have that make us comfortable that gotta go. Gotta let go of the attachment, right? Thinking Mars on Aries is making me ooze pushiness, not aggression, but also not patience. This is an observation from my 11-year-old. Yeah, pushiness is definitely definitely a side effect of Mars being in Aries. But you know, the pushiness, where is it coming from? Maybe not aggression, but maybe frustration or irritation, or, you know, a desire or need to, you know, be farther along than you are. right? This again comes down to surrender. And with this divine masculine getting ready to square all these energies in Capricorn, that feeling is going to get so strong. It's going to require all of our, like, we're going to have to take all 100% of our energy and put it into right in front of us where we're at. All right. So that is where the growth happens. And that is where, you know, connecting to this soul tribe, the soul family is so important. Okay. So make sure that you stay connected, make sure that you stay moving forward. And this lunar eclipse on this 4th and 5th of July is going to be huge in the sense that it's going to really show us where we need to surrender and where we need to let go. Okay. It's going to show us that this part of our identity, our belief system, whatever, something within us, it has to go. It has to die because it is no longer serving us. It's done its part, and it's time to shed that skin. Okay. And the more that we fight it, the more difficult this next 6 months is going to be, because eclipse energies last for about 6 months, right? This is setting us up for success, guys. Okay. I want you to understand that this is a very good thing. You just have to be ready to let go. You gotta let go. All right. So that's what I got for you. It's gonna be a big week. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. And thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you'd like a reading from me, please go to my website, spiritualbodybuilder.com, and also to download my free ebook. And if you would like to join the opportunity community, it's absolutely amazing. All the information is at my website on the link in my bio or in the description box below on YouTube. And other than that, I'll be seeing you guys on the next report. All right. So let's see now if I can figure out how to stop this thing. Where'd it go? Here we go. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next report.